Hey, this video today is about shaping, and I wanted to show you a couple of cool tricks that I have done and which I really feel that work very well. I created though basically a no knead bread. I just mixed together the ingredients and now I'm going to be shaping the bread on the surface. The dough fermented already for around 1.5 hours, so of course I'm degassing the dough a little bit, but that's okay. And so basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shaping the bread like if it was an actual bread, and I'm going to be using that just to create strength. So next time, just try this with your dough. You can learn shaping. It's a really good exercise and you get lots of strength in return. So it's a win-win. I'm taking the dough, I'm flipping it over, and now I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to pull that side over as well. This is also what you do in shaping. At least that's one of the techniques for shaping. You always want to make the sticky side stick to itself to create a lot of tension. And this is already what we're doing now with a little bit of exercise. This is also what is done quite frequently. You take the dough, pull it out, pull it back in. And I wanted to show you another technique which I always find very, very challenging. Wet your hands again. We are going to be doing the roll. This is something you will also see me doing later on when I show you how I actually shape. And you see how the dough is sticking. Resist that urge to use extra flour. You get such a good feeling for your dough. And the bench scraper really helps here. When your hands start to stick, just use some water again. That does wonders. I'm speeding things up a little bit. I'm just messing around with the dough, but I hope you understood the idea. Next up is I'm going to be showing you how I do the actual shaping. So you can see me applying some of the techniques that you have already seen here. We're going to be baking 2 batards. And some more exercising here. I was so happy when I thought of this, and I thought I'm just going to put this into video and show you, and I'm just going to keep showing you a little bit more so that you can see some more shaping techniques in the end and see how they're actually done in comparison to the exercise. It's always about creating layers inside of your dough here and creating strength. That's what you want. This creates amazing oven spring. And now I wanted to show you some pre-shaping, which is where you take the dough scraper and you rotate your dough over the surface, and the tension pulls together the upper part of your dough, creating a nice surface. This is always so hard and it took me so many attempts to learn it. And now during this phase you can just practice it for free. Your dough did not gas up that much. It takes a longer period of time. After 1.5 hours, my dough rarely ever changes in size. I feel that the biggest increase in size happens during the last minutes of the bulk fermentation. So take your dough scraper at a 45-degree angle, go below your dough, and keep rotating it like that. That's a beautiful looking loaf already. And resist that urge to use flour. You only use flour during the actual shaping, which I'm going to be showing you in a little bit. Taking the dough, putting it into the container, and now I'm going to be finishing up the bulk fermentation. I took the dough out of the container and now I'm going to start with the shaping. Normally you might want to weigh this, but in this case I know I have 2 loaves, so I'm just eyeballing this a little bit. With your bench scraper, cut down with swift cuts. And now we are going to be pre-shaping a little bit. The thing you just did. In this case, because there is the biggest edge, I'm doing it the wrong way around. I'm pulling through, but yeah, this took me a little bit of brain power to attempt to figure this out. See, that's your pre-shaping, and the dough does not stick at all. Well, it sticks to the bottom, but it doesn't stick to the dough scraper. So this is a really nicely fermented loaf. And I feel that's also a lot because we applied all the strength with our small tests that we've been doing. One more time, the pre-shaping, 45-degree angle, push with your dough scraper and pull with the other hand. The more you pre-shape, the more even out your crumb will be in the end. We're going to be letting them bench rest now for another 50 minutes, and then we will start with the actual shaping. So our dough after 50 minutes of bench resting, we're going to take this dough, the top surface is going to be at the bottom. We're going to be placing it in this area where we will be adding a little bit of flour. This is the moment where you start adding flour, not before. We will flip it over so the sticky side will be up. The bottom side is more sticky than the top side. Add some flour. I like to place a little bit of flour to the side in case I just need a little bit more flour so that it's easier to reach out. With the dough scraper, go below the dough and flip it over. I almost messed up and made it stick to the other one. Just because I wanted to have a little bit of more space, I'm already going to flip over the other dough. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I just wanted you to be able to see how I do the actual shaping. So yeah, and now you can already see our technique from before being applied. I'm flipping it into the middle, tucking it down, although I'm a little bit slower now. This one I think I did not do, but this is also definitely something you could do. Just practice this. And I mean, now it's even easier than in the step before, because in the step before the dough was very, very, very sticky. This I did not do. This is called stitching. You just rotate your dough now and you start to stitch it together. This really does create a lot of strength. I like to do buns. Hold that thought for a second. You see me rolling the dough in. That's also what you did before. I like to make buns because with buns you have a lot of breads with which you can experiment. So you would have, let's say, 10 breads where you could practice scoring on, shaping on or so. But of course those ones are more beautiful, the big batards. Let's flip it inside and let's do the same thing one more time. Let me show you one more time. We're going to be shaping another batard. We need a little bit more flour. Oh, actually I'm doing it just like that, but you might want to add a little bit more flour. Put this to the middle again. We're making it stick just like we did when we practiced. Now the sides inside, the top part, which is still sticky and open, put that in the middle and take the other side and pull that over that side. Now we are going to do our stitching again. I find this to be the hardest part. Maybe I should have also done that during the practicing. And the roll again. The roll creates so much strength. Now I'm tucking it in a little bit more because I just want it to look nice and round. Then I'll be putting them into the banetons for the final proofing. But I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial on shaping. Try, if you want to also bake some rolls from time to time, then you can practice a little bit more as well with the shaping. But in general, I find shaping during the early stages of bulk fermentation, it does not remove that much gas from your dough, and at the same time you can practice a lot. You create superb strength. So give it a shot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.